Yes, sir. Welcome into the garage. I know you guys like the Jacob Elordi shot there at the very end. I had to add that in after the events of the last couple days. Great for him. Welcome back to the garage. We're doing the Garage Awards every year. It is one of my favorite things. I look forward to this every year. Basically, I love movies perhaps way too much, and I like to celebrate it all year long. Award season is a big thing here on my channel the last couple years, so in keeping with that, I know there's not enough award shows going on and not enough awards news going on this week. So I said, you know what, let me do my own awards. And we're going to give out the fan voted movie awards. You guys vote 100% on all of the categories that you're going to hear tonight. Not only that, I had a select committee of movie lovers, fans of mine, members to my channel. It was about 32 people altogether that made up my committee. And they came up with the nominees that you're going to see tonight. I literally just saw them myself very recently. So I have some things to say about a couple of them, and we'll get into a discussion this evening with a couple of friends of mine that always come along to help me with this. And I cannot be more grateful. I'm going to bring them into the call right now, actually. Let's get them in here. By the way, this is new software. I was telling these guys I was so paranoid all this stuff's going to work tonight. So I hope it does. Nicole Ackman, center screen there. Or at least I assume for the stream it is as well, but she is on my screen. How are you? Thanks so much for being here yet again.
I'm good. I'm so excited to be back. I really love getting asked every year, and honestly, this is probably my favorite part of awards season at this point.
Oh, wow. That makes me feel
And I'm
so
not
good.
just saying that because,
Oh, man,
I'm here, but
that makes me feel so good. It's gotten more like intense as the years have gone on. And
Mhm.
since I've been doing it on YouTube, this is the third year, and you guys have been involved every year for that. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like I knew you were sick a couple weeks ago, and I was like, oh my God, is Nicole not going to be able to do it? Like, maybe I'll just cancel the show. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, I
No,
got to
I
have
was
you everywhere,
so worried. I was like, I
Yeah.
can't have the flu for too long. I've gotta do these
Right.
announcements.
Right. Well, as always, thank you so much for being here. You're local to me. You're a friend of mine, and I'm just thrilled every year when you get to come on and do it. JD, I
Mhm.
wish you were local to me, but I feel like
I
we live
know.
next door to each other. I'm so close to you. But InSession Film,
Mhm.
JD's back again. He's been on the show in other iterations as well. But like I said, third year in a row, helping me announce the nominees. How you doing, man? Thanks for being here.
Yeah, good. I'm always happy to be here. The garage looks a little different this year, but I love what you've
Mm.
done with the place. Fantastic. And yeah, I love doing this each and every year. It's always fascinating to see how these nominations turn out.
Yeah, I didn't have a hands-on involvement this year with the nominees, which is the first time, and this
Mhm.
is the eighth year. It's the first time that that's happened. I just put it out of my hands. I put it into my committee members' hands, which are members to my channel, fans of the YouTube channel, and
Yep.
it turned out good. Nicole and I were talking about it beforehand, and
Mhm.
it is a good crop of performances and movies. So I'm excited to let everybody know what the committee came up with, and just so everybody knows, voting is going to open. The ballot will be live. It's just a Google form and it's going to be live immediately after they finish the Best Picture nominees. There'll be 10 of those. As soon as we get done with that final slide and we're back in on the call here, just kind of talking about the movies, then you'll be able to vote and you can click the link and go over there and do that. The voting does end on January 20th, so it's a 2-week window that you have to vote. We're going to talk a little bit about it. I didn't tell you guys this actually, so this is going to be a surprise to you. But when we talk about it, when we discuss the awards at the end or the nominees, this is the first year that I'm also doing ranked voting for Best Picture. So
Ooh.
we didn't do that
Mm.
with an Oppenheimer. Remember that? And that was a runaway. It was like 80% Oppenheimer votes that year.
Yeah.
Um, and we didn't do it. It was Dune Part Two last year, which was a little bit closer. Anora and
Mhm.
some other movies were in the mix, but
Mhm.
yeah, I just thought it would be cool to kind of see how the ranked voting plays out, and maybe that'll tell us a little bit
Mhm.
about some other award shows too, depending on what gets nominated. But if they're in the
Yeah.
discussion throughout the season, so we'll talk about that when we get to the end. And the other thing I just want to let everybody know in the chat, I know we have a lot of people watching, and I love you guys. You're such a great support to the channel. This it's really been growing in the last couple of years, probably mostly due to award season. But I'm so thrilled, and you guys mean the world to me. Thanks so much for keeping me doing this and staying engaged with me. We know that you're commenting is a live feed, so after they're done doing the announcements, the three of us are going to hang out for 30, 45 minutes, however long it takes, however long they're willing to do so. And we'll discuss the nominees, go through each category, what surprised us, what are the takeaways, what got snubbed perhaps. I have a couple that I need to talk to some of my members about. We'll get into that when we get to the categories. But just hang tight, keep doing comments, keep asking questions if you'd like, and then I will surf through those when we get to our discussion in about 5 minutes or so when they're done with the announcements. So Nicole, JD, are you guys good? I think that was all is that all the housekeeping? I gave you guys the notes. I think that was it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
let's
and a
do it.
huge.
Yeah,
I
I think
forgot to
that's
say. I forgot to say a huge. Did I say a huge thank you to my channel members? They did this. So I gave them a short list because I'm a nerd, and I said, okay, here's 40 movies, here's 15 performances or whatever it was, and they narrowed it down to get what you guys are about to go over. So I'm excited, and I really appreciate them making the time and effort to do that. So I'm going to turn it over to you guys, and the presentation will pop up here, and we'll let everybody know what got nominated. And you guys make sure you comment about your surprises and what you're pleased about over in the chat too. Okay, you guys good?
Yep. Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. Again, I hope this works. If it doesn't, we're all friends here, and we'll figure it out. I don't know. It's 2025. Let's see what we got. Okay, I'm going to dip out and let you guys do your thing here, okay?
All right. So first up is a category that has become a fan favorite, the Best Movie Poster. And the nominees are Begonia, Die My Love, Eddington, Jay Kelly, and Train Dreams.
All right. Next, we will be looking at the nominees in the category of Best Animated Movie. And the nominees are Arco, Elio, K-Pop Demon Hunters, Little Amelie or the Character of Rain, and Zootopia 2.
Next, we'll be looking at the nominees in the category of Best Comedy Movie. And the nominees are Friendship, The Naked Gun, One of Them Days, The Phoenician Scheme, and Twinless.
All right. Next up, I will be announcing the nominees in the category of Best Action Movie. And the nominees are F1, the movie, Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning, Superman, Thunderbolts, and Warfare.
Next up, I will be announcing the nominees in the category of Best Horror or Thriller. And the nominees are Bring Her Back, The Long Walk, Sinners, The Ugly Stepsister, and Weapons.
Okay, now it's time for the category that debuted last year, which honors those films that made us say, wait, what? These are widely considered some of the year's worst movies. And the nominees are The Electric State, Him, Kinda Pregnant, Snow White, and War of the Worlds.
Yeah, definitely a whole lot of wait, what in that category happening. Okay, let's get ready to honor some of the year's best performances. And we'll start with a brand new category called the Star is Born Performance, honoring the year's best breakout roles in film. And the nominees are Odessa Asian for Marty Supreme, Miles Caton in Sinners, Inga Ibsdottir Lilias for Sentimental Value, Chase Infinity in One Battle After Another, Jacoby Jupe in Hamnet, and Eva Victor in Sorry Baby.
Okay, next up is the award for Best Male Performance. And as a reminder for the acting categories, it can include both supporting and lead roles. There is no distinction. Here are our Best Male nominees. Benicio del Toro in One Battle After Another, Leonardo DiCaprio in One Battle After Another. Ethan Hawke, Blue Moon. Michael B. Jordan, Sinners. Jesse Plemons, Begonia. And Stellan Skarsgård for Sentimental Value.
Okay. And next up, let's celebrate our cinematic ladies and take a look at the category for Best Female Performance this year. And the nominees are Jessie Buckley in Hamnet, Rose Byrne in If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You, Ariana Grande in Wicked for Good, Chase Infinity in One Battle After Another, Amy Madigan in Weapons, and Emma Stone in Begonia.
Okay, only 2 categories left to announce. First, let's recognize some of the year's best directorial efforts. The nominees for Best Director are Paul Thomas Anderson, One Battle After Another. Park Chan-wook, No Other Choice. Ryan Coogler for Sinners. Joachim Trier for Sentimental Value. Eva Victor, Sorry Baby. And Chloe Zhao for Hamnet.
Okay. And to wrap up, finally, JD and I will both partner in announcing the 10 nominees in the category of Best Movie of the Year. And the nominees are
Begonia.
Frankenstein.
Yorgos Lanthimos. Sorry, I don't know. I forgot to announce the director there. I apologize.
Okay, directed by Guillermo del Toro.
Hamnet, directed by Chloe Zhao.
No Other Choice, directed by Park Chan-wook.
One Battle After Another, directed by Paul Thomas Anderson.
Sentimental Value, directed by Joachim Trier.
Sinners, directed by Ryan Coogler.
Sorry Baby, directed by Eva Victor.
Weapons, directed by Zach Kreger.
And Wicked for Good, directed by John M. Chu.
Looky there. All right. Thank you guys so much again. It's just it tickles me so much when you guys do this. You are absolute pros at this. I cannot believe the
fun.
Academy has not stole you from me yet.
I was going to say, let the Academy know we're ready.
Ready to jump in, yeah.
Absolutely. So we'll start here real quick to let everybody know that's watching on the stream. We're just going to kind of go through the slides. There are a couple surprises, I think, and some big wins too. Surprises on either side, whether you think it's positive or negative. We'll talk a little bit about it. But it is a great group of nominees. As I was listening to you guys' announcement, I'm like, man, these are all just really, really good. So voting is open. The link, you should be able to see it on the screen now at the top and bottom there in the yellow bar. So you can just put that into your browser. It's just bit.ly, which is LY, and then /G awards 26 ballots. And you can cast your vote. It's just a standard Google form. I think my buddy Dan is over on the YouTube side of things. He's probably going to drop the link in the chat for you as well. That'll hopefully be clickable and make it easy for you. But please vote. Voting will be open until January 20th. And then I do this thing where I mail out the actual envelopes to the presenters, and they open them on their presentation, and they reveal who the winner is. So it takes a couple weeks to kind of get all that together, but we should be presenting them on February 17th is the goal. That'll be the award show here on the YouTube channel.
Nice.
Let's start here, Nicole and JD. So for Best Movie of the Year, JD, I want to start with you because last year you said something that really just made me so happy. And then while you're talking, I'm going to jump over to the comments here. But you mentioned that you love doing the Garage Awards. It was the Golden Peas in the past, but just the award show here because there's always this blend of stuff that you're probably not going to see at the Oscars, or it's not likely that you will on the award circuit. This one, though, I think is a little heavier that way, although there are a couple, that probably won't show up at the more prestigious award shows. How do you feel about this group of 10 overall? And then I'll throw it to Nicole as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's always interesting to see your nominees here because there are fun surprises that are certainly not in the awards conversation from a conventional perspective. You are right though. A lot, most of these for Best Picture are certainly in contention in some way. Weapons being the biggest outlier, especially as far as Best Movie of the Year goes. Begonia probably not in that conversation either. But still a really, really good crop of films here that I really love. I mean, I don't really have many qualms with this category at all. I'm a big fan of all of these movies as well. So yeah, a little different, certainly veered toward where much of the conversation is. But I mean, I think given the films that we got this year, it's hard not to. And look, in the spirit of transparency, a lot of these are going to show up on my year-end list as well. We haven't recorded that episode quite yet, but I'm a huge fan of a lot of these as well. So yeah, I don't blame people for being drawn to this specific crop here.
If you had to pick, which I guess you will when you cast your ballot, but it's not like voting for president. You can tell us. So what what would you vote for here? What's your pick here?
I hate to be trite here, but for me, One Battle After Another is the movie of the year.
That makes sense.
That's
makes
where
sense
my vote's going. Yeah.
Nicole, Nicole, what about you? What do you think about this crop of 10 here?
Yeah, I think what is so fun to me is the variety that we see in here. We've got some horror, we've got some like book adaptation, some, foreign language movies, a
Yeah.
musical. I think seeing that is really fun. I'm also thrilled that like 4 of my top 10 movies of the year made it into here, so that's
Oh, wow,
very
that
fun
is
for me
good. Yeah.
personally.
Mhm.
I like
Yeah.
seeing that we have movies in here that were directed by women.
hmm
I like seeing, like we said, some things that maybe aren't as much in like the best picture conversation, at least, even if they're maybe in conversation for other awards. But I also think, like JD was saying, like it is one of those years where I think we're very lucky in that a lot of the movies that are generally believed by the public to be the better movies of the year are also the movies that are in contention for the Oscars.
Yeah.
So I think there was naturally going to be more overlap.
hmm
But I think this is a great set of films.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the chat's kind of blowing that up too. 7 out of 10, LG says, made his top 20 of the year. This is a great group. Honestly, I asked you that, JD, a second ago because
Mhm.
I don't know that I'd know who I'm going to vote for in this category. There's a lot of good ones
Fair.
because
Yeah.
to your
There are.
point, movies like One Battle and Sinners are obviously probably going to go down as the movies of the year.
Mhm.
Whether you rank them highly or not, that's just kind of how they'll be
Mhm.
probably remembered. I might have a preference towards like No Other Choice. Obviously, Wicked for Good, I'm a huge fan of.
Mhm.
I love seeing Ava Victor show up big on this show tonight. I
Yeah.
don't know if you guys noticed, but
Mhm.
her name kept getting mentioned,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
and I love that. So she had a great
Yeah.
showing, and I love seeing Sorry Baby and for Best Movie of the Year too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a good crop, good group.
I know how I'm voting though, so don't worry.
You do. Oh
Yeah.
boy.
Although it is hard because my top 3 movies of the year are all in here.
Mhm.
Um, but I am ultimately, to no surprise to anyone who knows me, going to go with Hamnet.
Oh, okay.
Ah.
Ham, I didn't know that, but yeah, I guess Jesse Buckley too. Then, right? Let's go to the performances actually, since you brought that
Oh,
up. I gotta go.
real quick, can I
Yeah,
comment on Best Picture?
of
One
course.
other thing, because and this kind of veers into the conversation we were just having as far as the public perception as far as the best movies of the year,
Mhm.
how that
hmm
aligns with Oscar discourse. There is one notable film missing that I do think is interesting as it relates to your audience voting here, and that's the lack of Marty Supreme,
It
which
is.
is
It
going to be
is.
heavy in the Oscar conversation, nowhere to be
Yeah.
found here, which I just find interesting.
Yeah. I do too, and I love my members, and probably most of them are tuned in right now, so I'm not going to talk shit. You know what I mean? But I was like, guys, because we're going to
I
get there in a second. But Timothy
I do
Chalamet sounded
wonder.
male too.
I wonder if some of it though has to do with release date. Um,
It could.
because especially with those movies that release around the holiday time,
Mhm.
often
Yeah.
it's a
hmm
lot hard. Like I'm seeing Marty Supreme tomorrow.
Yeah,
Um,
that's
Oh,
fair.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because like I
Yeah,
was sick
that's a good
whenever,
point.
I would have gone to see it first. But
Yeah.
so I think maybe it has something to do timeline wise with people not having caught up with it yet. Or you know
Yeah.
what? If you're in the chat, feel free to tell me that I'm wrong and you just hated that movie. Uh,
But
Yeah.
I do think you make a good point though, because even movies like The Testament of Anne Lee, that doesn't go wide
exactly.
until I think this weekend or maybe next
Yeah.
weekend.
I still haven't
So a lot
seen
of
it.
people just haven't seen it yet. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think that's true too because I got to be honest with you, I did see it, but I got a screener from A24, and honestly, without that, I don't know that I would have seen it yet. And
Mhm.
and that's me, and I'm a super fan of Timmy and the whole thing.
Yeah.
So I think it's just
Mhm.
harder with the Christmas Day release, especially when you have young kids like I do. You're not
Yeah.
taking your
Yeah.
6-year-old to see Marty Supreme. At least I hope not. You know what I mean?
Unless you're a good parent, okay?
After having seen it.
Just kidding.
Um, what's up, Kayla? I agree. Marty Supreme, I just did my top 25 of the year. I wrote a script for that and recorded the video
Yeah.
today, and that'll be going up in the next couple weeks, or actually at the end of this week. And Marty Supreme is in my top 10 of the year. So I am bummed to not see that on here. But maybe more so Timmy not being in Best Actor. But I think Nicole's onto something about release date, though, for sure. I think that might have a lot to
Yeah.
do with it. I want to
Yeah,
go
I agree.
to. Yeah, I want to go because last year Complete Unknown made it too, so I was like, all right. And somebody, several people, actually my buddy Brad, who's here right now, jokingly, but then a couple other people, maybe in jest, I'm not really sure to this day, a year later, but they were like, you obviously picked the awards because Dune 2 won everything, and Timothy was. I'm like, no, guys, I didn't. So then they're like, oh, well, your fans or your viewers voted on what they know you like, and I'm like, okay, please, please do that. That's great.
Like, well, if you
Um,
want to do that.
but it looks like
Yeah.
Timothy missed out there. Before we get to the performances, how you guys feel about this Director 6? This is another situation though where Park Chan-wook's been getting left out, and he's a freaking all-time master. I mean,
Yeah.
not to even mention what he's doing the last couple of years, just in his career, and he just deserves so much more flowers, much more than the Garage Awards. I feel bad for the guy. This might be his
Yeah.
award for the season. And I already mentioned Ava Victor. I love her being all over the place on this award show. How do you guys feel about?
Mhm.
I know it's PTA's year, and everybody's saying that, and I tend to
Mhm.
agree with it too. But how do you feel about this group here?
Can
Whoever.
I ask a question actually to begin
Yeah.
this part of the conversation?
Sure.
I want to hear from Nicole. I want to hear you talk
okay.
about Chloe Zhao here and Hamnet, since you just talked about it being your
Yeah.
vote for Best Picture.
Yeah.
The reason being, it is getting a fair amount of pushback this award season, which I do find unfortunate. And I also love the movie. I think it's really great, but I would love to hear your perspective specifically on it. I don't know if you would also vote for Chloe Zhao here or not. I think it's warranted if that is indeed the case, but I just want to hear your perspective on that movie.
Yeah, I mean,
Same.
I'll say, I I actually think I would vote for Ryan Coogler here.
Which also fair.
So I'm splitting my Sinners and Hamnet love and voting Hamnet for picture, Ryan Coogler for director.
That's a good
But I
start,
mean,
yeah.
I really love Hamlet. I think that like the direction of it is, I would say like really impressive. I think that there is a quietness to the film that I
Mhm.
think is something that a lot of directors would not have been able to achieve. It's a very contemplative film in some ways without
Mhm.
ever
Mhm.
coming across as boring.
Yeah.
So I think that also is really impressive. I also think it's really good at taking things that like all in all seem, I don't want to say trivial, but like not like a huge deal, and making them feel big.
Mhm.
I also think it's a really good adaptation of the book, and I think it captures the essence of the book really well.
Mhm.
And the sort of almost dreamy quality of it. And I mean, I think there's something to be said that great performances often come with great directors.
Mhm.
And I think that no one would deny that the performances in this are pretty great, including, I think, a very impressive child performance. Which,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
listen, when directors can get performances like that out of children, I'm immediately going to think they're doing
Yeah.
something right, even if it's just in building a dynamic on set where, young actors and all of their actors can feel really comfortable going for it, can feel really comfortable being very vulnerable. And I think there's something to be said for that, for the ability to create an environment in which everyone feels sort of,
Mhm.
able to explore and able to do, especially there's a lot of very emotional scenes in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's a theme too. I'll let you respond, JD, but I think that's a theme too about kid actors this year. I mean, there was a lot of really,
yeah.
really good because you don't think that you're going
Mhm.
to get that like time after time after time. I mean, a movie like The Plague. I don't know. Did you guys see that? Do you know that film? The
Yeah,
Not
The
Plague.
Plague.
yet.
Yeah, I did see
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
So many young kids in that were like under the age of
Mhm.
14, and they were all just like they've been acting for 50 years. I mean, it was
Mhm.
crazy. They were
Yeah.
able to
Yeah.
relay all those
Kyle
emotions.
Martin, was that the kid's name
Yeah,
that plays the
the
bully in that?
bully.
Honestly,
Yeah,
one of the best villain performances
so
of
good,
the last 10 years. It is
so good.
unreal. He's so good.
It really was. I mean,
Yeah.
you hate him, and you're like, well, this is a 12-year-old. I probably shouldn't hate him this much, but yeah, I do. Um,
Yeah. No, you hate him.
yeah,
You loathe but it speaks to the
absolutely.
prowess of his performance, though. Yeah.
And I have a 12-year-old, which is the age of the kids in the movie. They're like 12 and 13. So I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, please tell me you're not going through this, buddy. Um,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Anything else you want to add to the
Yeah.
director here before we move on, JD?
No, I mean, I just echo a lot of what Nicole said about Hamnet. I love the direction of that film and how,
mhm.
uh, like, I think what's most impressive to me about that film is how Chloe Zhao is able to tap into not just death and grief, but also the celebration of life. Because that
Yeah.
to me is
Hmm.
such a huge part of that movie. It is
Hmm.
celebrating life as much as it is about the death that occurs as well. And that juxtaposition I
Mhm.
think is fascinating, and I think she captures that impeccably. And I feel like that gets lost in the conversation a lot. But
Yeah.
as far as that crop goes, though, I mean that's an incredible crop of directors there. Honestly, you could flip a coin. All very well deserving.
Yeah, we'll see. You have till January 20th, guys. Cast your vote. I think PTA is probably the favorite in the category, but this is the
Mhm.
Garage Awards. This isn't the
That's true. You
Oscars
never
or
know.
CCA or whatever. So
Yeah.
who knows? I mean,
Yeah.
We had a couple double ups here in breakthrough performance between some of the main
Mhm.
performance categories. One of them was Chase Infinity, so she's in both. Uh, Ironically, my favorite performance in one battle is Chase. So I love seeing her in this main category. Obviously, you guys know, and maybe my members did do this for me for Ariana Grande because that is my queen, and everybody that watches my channel knows that. So Chase and Ariana are my highlights in this category, but I love all these performances. They're all so good and just a nice mix of so many different like
Mm.
styles of acting. I mean,
Yeah.
musical, Amy Madigan doing the Joker horror performance. Jessie Buckley, we've been talking about her quiet, really tender performance. I mean, it's just all these performances are like very different. None of these are like the other,
Mm.
which is what I really, really like
Yeah.
about it. How do you guys feel about the female performers this year?
Can I speak to the breakthrough? Is that were we just talking about that? Because
We're
I
doing
like
bet.
to.
We're going to go there. Do you want me to go back? Let me go to that one, and then
Okay,
you can.
I
I'll go to
wasn't
that one
sure
first if
if
you want.
that's where you're going. No, that's fine. We can go to
I'm
female
working my way
performances. That's
backwards,
fine.
but I can. We
Sorry,
can
it
go
was
to
on my
breakthrough if you'd
brain
like.
because we brought it up a little bit a couple of times here. So
Give me one second. Let me find it here. I think it's this one. There you go. Go ahead.
okay, this might be the best year for this category in God knows how long. I thought it
Yeah.
was a phenomenal year for breakthrough performance. Um, Jacoby, is that how you say that name?
Jacoby
Jacoby,
is what I
Jacoby,
found out a couple
Jacoby.
days
Jacoby.
ago.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I'm not exactly sure. I've heard it all three of those ways, so I wasn't exactly sure. Either way, I think that is maybe the best child performance of the last 10, 15, 20 years. I mean, go back as far as you want. Like it is unbelievable. I think he's
It's really good.
Agreed.
unreal in that film. But similarly, like what Miles Canton brings to Sinners in terms of the
Mhm.
musicality is just striking. The
Hmm.
"I Lied to You" sequence is maybe the scene of the year. It is the
Mhm.
scene of the year for me personally.
Yeah.
Certainly in that conversation, what Ibsad or Lilius does in Sentiment of Value, just incredible. incredible what she brings to that
Mhm.
film. Eva Victor and Sorry Baby. I mean, the list goes on and on. I mean, like this crop here is just, it is unreal. Like, I honestly don't know where my
What?
vote would go. I'd have to
What?
sit here and purposely contemplate it for an hour to try to
Or
figure it
Yeah.
out. I don't know.
that joke that I've been using this season, like throw them all up in the air, and whichever one lands on the desk is the one I vote for. You know.
Yeah.
Um,
Like that scene in Harry Potter where he's just trying to grab
Yeah.
one of the letters as they're all
Right, right.
coming in. It's kind of like that. Yeah.
Right. Are you guys surprised? I absolutely. She ended up making my top 5 performances of the year after I saw Marty Supreme, but I am also a little like pleasantly surprised to see Odessa here when it didn't show up. I don't think anywhere else did it. I don't think it got any other nominations, so that's interesting.
No.
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess
That's
there's
the Lone
sort
Marty.
of
Yeah.
less breakthrough performances to consider, maybe, is how that got through. And
Sure.
Marty
I'm trying to
Supreme
think of who
didn't
missed
in
even,
other
but
categories.
yeah.
But yeah, I think this is a great group. I feel like any of these people could win, and I would feel like, okay, yeah, cool. I mean, I feel, I don't know. Again, like it's even hard for me to pick, but I think you're absolutely right that Jacoby, Jupe, however we want to
So
say it.
good.
Yeah.
It's
Just
an astounding,
heartbreaker.
it would be an astounding performance from an adult.
Yeah.
But to come from a
Right.
child his age and like in this breakthrough performance is honestly insane.
Yeah.
And it is
It's, yeah.
the performance that I think about most from the whole year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember thinking it
Yeah.
was crazy, like disappointingly crazy, when I heard that he wasn't in. He's not considered part of the ensemble for the SAG Awards. I'm like,
That's
That's
insane.
wild to me. I just,
what?
he's such a vital piece,
I'm
vital
like,
element to that film.
what are we
Yeah.
doing over there, guys? I don't know if there's some rule about child actors or what, but I thought it was really
Might
weird. Let me
be.
touch on. We
Yeah.
got some super chats. I just want to make sure I shout these people out real quick,
Mhm.
guys. Elizabeth said she voted. She's going for a Sinners sweep and a Stellan win, and I'm not going to argue with either of those. That would be
Mhm.
brilliant. Thank you so much for the super chat. Anthony loves getting on me about my love for Timothy and Wicked, so he didn't take long at all to point out that Timothy did not get nominated. He said, we all know Chalamet is mid. Obviously, I disagree. I think this might be the performance of his career, but I am surprised that he missed out here on the Garage Awards,
Yeah.
especially since
Mhm.
it's my award show. Hopefully, Timmy doesn't
Yeah.
decide to tune into my channel this week of all weeks. One of my favorites, Jules,
Yeah.
says, this is super fun. She thinks some of these categories may end up being better than the award show categories. Thank you so much for the super chat. And then a
Love
big
that.
supporter of the show, Smash, says that she appreciates the nominees and the award show. Thank you to everyone. And she was one of the members that, along with Jules and Anthony, that helped come up with the nominees. Thank you guys for the super chats. If you have any questions
And
about the
again,
nominees, you can throw them up too. Go ahead.
as far as breakthrough goes, I know a lot of people listening to this have not seen The Plague yet. K.O.
Mm.
Martin, you will add him to
And
this list once you see that performance. I promise you.
yeah, it's just an
Just keep
underseen
that in
film. And
mind.
then Everett
Yeah.
Blunt too, the kid that he's the main young actor in it. Everett Blunt, he was really he got nominated for, was it Breakthrough? I don't know if that's what they call it at the CCAs. He was nominated there where Miles Caton
Yeah,
won.
at
But
Critics'
yeah.
Choice. Yeah.
So I'll go back to some of the main performances real quick. Let's look at male just
Yeah.
because that's easier for me to go back that way. So
Sure.
another stellar group here, but you guys know already that I'm extremely disappointed Timothy's not here.
Yeah.
Other
Yeah.
than that, I mean, I can't begrudge this group. I mean, this is a great group. Do you guys wish anybody else was kind of in the mix here, or do you think this is good to go? How do you feel
I
about this group?
mean,
Oh, go ahead, Nicole.
I feel like it's not going to surprise anyone that like I would love to see Paul Mescal in the mix here.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
what he does in Hamnet is
Yeah.
really special. And I think that the way that he brings to life that character is really interesting because,
Mhm.
you know, that's not an easy undertaking really to play Shakespeare and to play him in that sort of timing in his life. And so
Mhm.
I would love to see him here. But for me, I mean, I think this is a great group of actors, like, obviously. I personally will be voting for Michael B. Jordan for playing not
Oh,
one, but
okay.
two characters, and making them feel
Yeah.
distinct. But I think that this is another category where it's like any of these people could win, and I would not be upset.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Another great group. If I had to toss out a few others, Wagner Mora from
Sure.
The Secret Agent, I think, had a great argument to be here as well.
Absolutely.
Or for me anyway, pick any of the 4 Josh O'Connor performances from me.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
what a year he had. I mean,
Yeah,
I love him
I
in
agree.
general, and I think he had just a stellar year that
I
I
thought
that I
about
deeply loved. So
JD. I thought about because I try to introduce like a new award each year. I mean, you realize that. So
mhm.
this year we did breakthrough performance. I was thinking about doing something like that, where it's like, what performer had the best year? Just like the collectively, you know?
I
Yeah,
used to
And
yeah,
do like who had the best year in my awards that
okay,
I
yeah,
used to do. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that's
Because I
awesome.
feel like the answer this year though, it's like it's Josh O'Connor. It's
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
it's Josh O'Connor. Like there's
yeah.
actually no competition.
Yeah,
Um,
no, every one of those performances is incredible.
incredible.
Yeah,
Incredible.
really
Yeah.
great.
In looking
Yeah.
at best female performance, like I said earlier, I love this group, how eclectic it is. All these performances are different. The chat kind of agrees with what I'm saying. I mean, Ariana's my favorite. Chase is a close second,
Mhm.
but otherwise, I mean, this is you can't lose. I don't think with these ladies. How do you guys feel about this here? Is there anybody that you would have also loved to have seen here?
Yeah,
Mm.
how long do we have?
Yeah.
Because like honestly, I feel so strongly about Best Actress really every year, but especially
Yeah,
this year.
Mhm.
I think you could genuinely have 2 Best Actress categories at the Oscars and no one would bat an eye. I feel like it's that
Yeah.
deep. And for me, I would also include the likes of Jennifer Lawrence. I
Mhm.
thought that performance was really strong.
hmm,
I would also include uh, Tessa Thompson for
yeah,
Hedda. I don't know how you guys feel about that movie,
love
but
it,
Yeah.
love
I
it, love
deeply,
her, love it.
deeply love that performance. So that's certainly one that comes to mind as well. Um, yeah, I mean,
For me,
I guess I
yeah,
don't want to steal too much of the time here, but I
no, no,
could
you're
certainly give
you're
that one.
you're nailing it because I was gonna. I put this comment on the screen because
Yeah.
I want to make sure Christian knows that it's not me. She would be on there for me. She was actually my number one performance of the year when I ranked my top 25 last
Mhm.
week. That video is on the channel if you guys want to check it out. But she was my number one. What she did in Die My Love is my favorite performance that I
Mhm.
saw.
Mm,
So I would have
yeah,
loved to have seen her here because that's another performance being in a Lynn Ramsey movie that inherently is just going to suffer during award season. It's not probably not going to get a lot of love. So
Yeah.
yeah, no,
she's a
really
glaring omission
unfortunate.
for me, but yeah. Nicole, what do
For
you think? Being the
me,
lady on the panel, what do you think here?
yeah. Well, the one performance that I would definitely add here immediately is Ava Victor.
Mm,
Which I know
Hmm.
like she has shown up a lot in these
mm-hmm,
awards, but
yep.
I would also put her here because I also think like there is something to be said for that performance being so impressive because so much of that is her creation and to not only, direct and everything, but also to um actually play that character, which is
Mm-hmm.
not the easiest of roles, I think.
Yeah, it was great.
Hmm.
There's a
Oh
lot
yeah.
to get through there. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, I mean, out of this, like, there's not a bad choice here. I'm fascinated that Rose Byrne actually showed up here because I feel like that's one of those movies that like not everyone has seen or has not seen yet.
Hmm.
Um, I think Ariana earns her spot here though, especially in Wicked for Good, um, because I think what she does in that film is actually very special.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but also like I don't know, I came out of Hamnet and I was like, Jessie Buckley has redefined acting for me. Um, so
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm very happy to
yeah,
see that performance
yeah.
getting
I'm
recognized
very
here.
very pro Buckley as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. No, I get it. Yeah,
Uh,
for sure. Yeah,
Another
we
name
have.
I'd throw out there is Renata Ryansev
Yeah.
from Sentimental
Mm-hmm.
Value. I know we've
Good
talked about
timing.
her scene partner quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
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 Yeah, I mean, you guys are hitting all the ones that are kind of missing, but it's funny because like when I do this show every year, especially with the two of you, and I get a chance to like talk to people about it, it's like part of you like feels bad for the whole snub conversation with the Academy every year because there's only 6 spots. With the Academy, there's only
Yeah.
5,
Yeah.
and you're naming all these people, and you're going, yeah, but if one of them made it, then one of these would miss, and then it'd be like, where's Madigan? Where's Emma Stone? Where what I mean? So it's like
Yep.
they just can't all be
Mhm.
there, and I'm glad it was kind of out of my hands this year, so I can't. It's not my fault,
Yeah.
But I do love all these ladies though.
Mhm.
I want to go to
And
go
sorry,
ahead. I'm sorry.
one other one I want to throw out there, just because I love throwing out these small little hidden gems.
Yeah, sure.
But another performance that it's understandable why it's not here. Not a lot of people have seen this film. In fact, I don't think it's out. I think it comes out this weekend.
Mhm.
But Kristen Stewart's new film, The Chronology of Water,
Mm.
hard to recommend. Not going to be for everybody. Really ambitious, audacious. I love it, but I do think Imogen Poots gives a performance that rivals
Mm.
anything in 2025.
She's
is
so good.
phenomenal, astounding
I
performance.
haven't seen that yet, but I was thinking that might. Do you know if that's on demand yet, JD? Probably not, right?
No, I think it goes out in theaters this weekend,
Oh, it does.
if
Okay.
I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was thinking that she might be able to show up for best feature debut at the was it the
Mm.
PG or the DGAs when they do that, which will be
Mhm.
this Friday, I
Yeah.
think. So that would be great for her. I
Yeah.
mean, that'd be cool, and I know it was well received. I think it can, right, where it premiered. So
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm very excited for
Yeah.
that one.
Mhm.
I know I'm the horror head on the panel here. Nicole, I feel bad making you say these every year because you're not a huge horror person. I guess I should switch that.
No. Yeah.
Did you saw Sinners, obviously, because you were talking about Kugler earlier.
Yeah.
Did you see any of the others of these? No? No. Okay. That's fine. Weapons you
No.
didn't see. Or you see Weapons?
I plan to catch up on Weapons at
All
some
right.
point,
I
but no,
love
I've
this
not seen
category.
that.
I love this category. The Ugly Stepsister, spoiler alert for all my channel regulars, is my #1 film of the year, which they probably know that because I haven't shut up
Oh.
about it since June when I saw it. Trying to get everybody to see it. But that's my #1. I feel like it's a blend of the Cinderella fairy tale mixed with the substance from last year. It blends a lot of modern body horror elements. Kind of like what Yorgos did with The Favorite, but with body horror, with like breakdancing and weird shit. And then it has the Cinderella kind of like ball gowns and elegance to it as well. So I loved it. It's my favorite movie of the year, any genre. So that's what I'm pulling for in this category, but I love The Long Walk. Obviously, Sinners is going to go down as being a classic. Weapons is one of the most successful films of the year in the horror genre. And Bring Her Back was really a hard psychological watch, but that was a really good one too from the Philippe brothers. JD, do you have a favorite in this group here? Did you see all these?
I have seen all of these. I do agree with you that The Ugly Stepsister is quite good. It's very, very good. I love that one a lot. Love its subversions of that familiar story.
Mm-hmm.
And some great imagery, some striking cinematography in that film. Sinners, I think, is simply one of the best movies of the year. So that's my pick here of these particular crop of films.
I get it.
Weapons, The Long Walk, and Bring Her Back. All films I like. I don't quite love them. I have my issues with all 3 of those movies, but I do think they're all good in the end. The one glaring omission here for me, and I guess I can kind of understand why it's not here. It's been polarizing, unfortunately. I struggle to comprehend why it's been polarizing, but I can certainly acknowledge that's been the case. But for me, 28 years later is not just one of the best films of this year. I think it's one of the best films of the decade so far. I think this film is remarkable. There is not a film this year that rivals what that film does to me emotionally outside of Hamnet. 28 years later is unbelievably moving. And I love it as a deconstruction of the horror within that franchise. It is unbelievable what that film is able to do in taking the carnage and violence that has defined those movies, and it completely upends it in this completely new way that, again, is quite poignant. And it's interesting because for me, so much of, like, if I had to define 2025, if there's like a main theme, it centers around grief and loss, especially as it relates to parenthood. Right? When you think about Hamnet, The Chronology of Water, The Testament of Anne Lee, If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You, to a degree as well, The Voice of Henry Jam, like the list goes on and on. There's so many movies about this, and 28 years later very much falls into that camp as well, although the grief And that film it's reversed. It's from the child's perspective, which I think is just utterly gut wrenching with how all of that plays out. And Danny Boyle just directs the hell out of it. I mean, I think it's simply one of the best directed movies of the year as well.
The
So
rig
that's
with
my
all
pick.
the
Real pick.
iPhones or whatever. You saw the
Oh my
rig
God,
with all the
stunning.
camera tactics and stuff. Yeah, it's great
Yeah.
stuff. Great stuff. Yeah, I'm surprised that missed too. Now that you're mentioning it, it was on the short list, though. I promise. But didn't make it
Yeah.
here.
Yeah,
But yeah, you're right.
that's easily my pick.
That's a big
I
one.
actually will say really quick that there is I think you could count it as horror, movie that I actually saw and loved this year. Amazing me watching horror. But it's a horror comedy,
That's why I'm waiting to
and
hear
I
what
would
it
put it in both best comedy and best horror. But it's Hell of a Summer.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's
Oh
that's good.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought I
Finn
think
Wolfhard,
Fred
right?
Heckinger is so good in it. I think to
Yes.
be a
He's
directorial
great.
debut from Finn Wolfhard and Billy Burke, it's super impressive.
Yeah.
But
I
also
think
the
they
That was
way
a
wrote
that
good
it.
it,
one. Yeah.
yeah, and they wrote it, and the way that, you know, it plays off of the sort of sleepaway camp horror concept, and is very like tongue in cheek with a lot of it, but still has real emotional stakes, I think is so fun.
And it incorporates
I
that,
love
and
it.
incorporates like the TikTok social media component too. So it's
Yes.
like it's
And
like
I
an 80s
think
camp
it's
slasher with like it's cool.
exactly. I think it's really clever actually, and it's made me very excited to see like what Finn Wolfhard does as a writer and director going forward now that he's not tied up with Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. So here's the best action I failed to mention on the previous slide, but we have two of those movies that were in the horror category are also in Best Picture. Here, for I think the first time for what was the Golden Peas, but for my award show, I think for the first time, one of our best action movies is not in the best movie category. It almost always happens, sometimes more than one. So none of these ended up making Best Picture, but I do love all these. I wasn't as high on Superman as a lot of folks were.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked it, but the other four, I'm like 8 out of 10 or more on all the rest of them. Even the Final Reckoning, I know, you know, the first like hour, I was kind of like, okay, like we remember the series, like you don't have to do like a previously on Mission Impossible, you know what I mean? But once the movie gets going, I did love it. Once it was like its movie. And Thunderbolts pleasantly surprised me because I was so over the MCU, I can't even tell you. I almost didn't even see it because I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. And I really liked it. I think the heft to Florence Pugh's performance had a lot to do with it. And she's doing, you know, Oscar caliber shit in an MCU movie, which you don't always see.
Yeah.
So
seriously though, like you joke, but you're not joking.
I mean, right.
No,
yeah.
but
So,
I also think that oh my God, I just lost his name. Bill Pullman's son. Lewis Pullman. There we go.
Lewis.
I've got to stop referring to him as Bill Pullman's son. But I think he also.
I'm sure he loves that if you meet him on the red carpet. Hey, Bill Pullman's son, come here.
Hey, there are worse things to be known as. Listen. But I think he's doing really astounding work in Thunderbolts as well. And I think Thunderbolts is such an interesting take on an MCU film, and it really subverts a lot of it. And it's in my top 4 movies of the year. But I think Warfare is an astounding film. It's for me, it's the kind of thing that like I saw it in the theater, I watched it once, I never want to see it again.
Right.
Because it was a little too real. But I think that speaks to something great about it. And I mean, what an ensemble in that movie.
Yeah.
But also I think it's very interesting that Thunderbolts and Superman got in here for you know, superhero movies, and Fantastic Four missed out.
I know, me too. I was thinking about that as well. I guess there's only room for so many superhero movies, but honestly, they were all, at least from my perspective, and I don't mean to bash any fans of the subgenre or the genre of superhero films, but at least for me, I would never in a million years be like, I loved 3 big superhero films in the same year, because it just hasn't happened in so long.
Yeah.
You know, since like the, you know, pre-Endgame days for me. So I loved all of those. I mean, Superman would be number 3 out of the ones that we're talking about. But
Same.
Thunderbolts was high on my list, especially in this genre. So, what do you think wins here? Because this is a bit of a toss-up. Maybe F1. Maybe what do you guys think?
It's interesting because I feel like F1 is getting a lot of awards love, and nominations at a lot of different groups.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just not as high on that movie as a lot of other people are. I think it's fine. I think it's fun. It doesn't go much beyond its entertainment factor for me, though. I'm with you guys on Thunderbolts. That's easily my favorite of this crop. I think that's top tier
Mhm.
MCU and reinvigorates that franchise when it needed it most.
I agree.
Superman, I did like, I'm not the biggest James Gunn DC fan to this
Mhm.
point. I know he's only done it, a few times, but I've been kind of reserved on his DC stuff to this point. So that one was a fun surprise for me. And I agree with you, Nicole, about Warfare. That was quite
Mhm.
the experience. I did
Yeah.
really like that a lot. So
It was.
it's
Yeah,
tough to
it was.
say. I don't know where the audience is going to vote here, but I do think Thunderbolts is the best film of
I
these
I'm
five.
I'm willing to go out on a limb and predict that Thunderbolts wins here because I
That's good.
think that it has um the biggest maybe like fan base of these movies
Yeah.
that
Mhm.
would be voting. Like I feel like there's a lot of people who would be like, "Oh yeah, Warfare is a good movie," but they're not going to pick it over these others perhaps. And
Yeah.
It
same with
also
some of
has
the
one of the
others.
most underrated scores of the year as well.
Oh
That
my
song
God.
score is unreal.
So
Hmm.
good.
Good.
So good. And talk about an ensemble. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's really
Right.
yeah,
fun
very good.
and I will admit I
Mm.
have still not seen F1
Oh wow. Okay.
because
Interesting.
nothing about that appealed to me.
Oh
I
wow.
said if
All right.
I want to see race and not
Fair.
as someone who like I watch NASCAR. But I said if I want to see a racing movie, I will simply watch Ford v Ferrari. Um,
Fair enough.
but actually
What
I also just avoid Brad Pitt these days. But
I got
Also
you. I
fair.
got you.
yeah.
Anthony says F1's his favorite movie and it's in his top 20. Jules says
Okay.
Reckoning is better than most people are saying. Could
Mhm.
he use more editing? It was too long. I kind of agree with that. But
Yeah.
I need to see that one again. The Final Reckoning is one I did not love that film. It was
yeah,
maybe my
it
biggest
was.
disappointment of the year, but I've only seen it the one time, and that franchise I feel like always gets reevaluated every few years, and
Yeah.
that could be one of those movies where I come
Mhm.
around on it in another 5 to
Mhm.
10 years maybe.
JD, I remember last year you said the comedy category was your favorite of all the categories. How do you feel about it this year? I mean, I before Twinless and Friendship are in my top 20 of the year. Those two. Just did that video today.
Yeah.
Just wrote the script for it. But I think this is a great group.
So,
I have not seen Phoenician Scheme yet, though. Just in full disclosure.
yeah.
I haven't either.
One of them days is a blind spot for me, so I cannot speak to that, although I've heard good things.
Real good.
I am straight up
Yeah.
against the grain when it comes to friendship. I did not like that film at all.
Oh
That just is
wow. Okay,
just
I
not for
didn't know that.
me. Just not my thing. But full admission that I am in the minority when it comes to that movie. The Naked Gun, though, is maybe the surprise film of the year for me. I freaking loved that film, and
It was really good.
I think
Yeah,
it's great. Really,
I
really
agree.
good. I'm a huge Wes Anderson head, so I, of course, did see the Phoenician Scheme. I think it's one of my. I think somewhere in my ranking, it's in my top 25. I don't think it's quite in my top 20, but it's high-ish up there for me. But I just love Wes Anderson, and I understand his tastes aren't for everybody. And Twin List might be the best overlooked movie of the year. I mean,
Oh,
that
so
film
good,
is
man. We
unbelievable.
I was going to mention, not to interrupt you, I was going to mention just because I'll lose my train of thought, but everybody's talking about Michael B. Jordan this year with the dual roles. I mean, Dylan O'Brien is
Mhm.
freaking, not to take anything
He
away
is
from
unreal.
MBJ, but he is, Dylan
He's
O'Brien is
very
like,
yeah. And that
it's
might
almost
be
like
the
one of
Yeah.
those
best
things.
overlooked performance. I mean, he
Yeah,
is unreal in that film. Very, very good.
it's gonna sound bad, but it's like almost like I kind of expected it from Michael B. Jordan, where it's like I wasn't quite as impressed as I was with somebody like
Yeah.
Dylan O'Brien because I didn't really
Mm,
expect him to go where he went in that movie. I thought it was great,
yeah.
and James Sweeney's
The
screenplay is one
subtlety
of my
of it.
favorites of the year too. Yeah, so I love that
Yeah.
one.
And
I
his direction, his filmmaking is really inspired. Some great craftsmanship and cinematography to that
For
film as
sure.
well.
Go ahead, Nicole. What do you think of the script?
I I will say and this is not to say that it wasn't a good movie because it was, but I forgot one of them days existed until I was looking at
Oh
this
wow,
script for today.
it came out
And
really early. In fairness, too, though.
I saw it
Real
in
early.
the
Yeah.
Yeah,
theater. Um,
yeah, I loved it. It
but
was good,
yeah,
but
like
it did come
it
out
was
super
good. It
early.
was fun. I mean, again, I'll say the thing that's missing here for me is Hell of a Summer.
Yeah.
To me, the funniest line in any film from this whole year is the way that Finn Wolfhard delivers single-use plastics are the real killer. When he's like getting everyone a glass of water. Um, that's like the comedy for me for the year. But I again, like, I like the variety in comedic
Mhm.
style that we have in this category. I like that it's not all sort of the same type of comedy. That's really fun
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
And I definitely, this is a good reminder that I do need to catch up on the Phoenician scheme.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a
Yeah,
big fan.
I haven't seen
I
that.
don't
That's the only one I haven't
know
seen.
how much it's been seen, but or how you guys feel about it, but Bradley Cooper's Is This Thing On? I would very much
Loved it.
have here
Mm,
as well. I love that
Loved it.
film.
And
It might be his best movie, at least for me.
that's another
wow.
one that was the Christmas Day thing, though, because I was hoping that might
Yeah.
show up too.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
loved it. I
Yeah.
loved it. It was
Does
so.
No Other Choice count as comedy?
I wonder. I don't know. It was on
Pretty
the short list
funny.
for it, but it is really fun, darkly funny. But yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bradley Cooper, though, when I wrote my little script for the movies, and it ended up making my top 25, I said that he was collecting filmmaking styles like Infinity Stones, Bradley Cooper, because he just
Mhm.
got every one of his movies. It's just different. It just looks different. It feels different. Has a different kind of vibe to
Mhm.
it. And with Is This Thing On? That was such an intimate little in the four walls, shaky cam kind of like intimate
Yeah.
piece of
Yeah.
filmmaking
Mhm.
that is not something he's ever done before, and I really, really responded to it. I'm also
I,
fascinated by
I
the
agree.
stand-up comedy
Yeah.
world, like behind the scenes.
Sure.
Like that
Yeah.
whole thing just fascinates me that they
It's
just,
very cool. Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah. I
I
love
love it.
how he captures that too.
I listen to a
Yeah.
lot of podcasts with comedians, and I find that whole
Mhm.
thing fascinating that they just like decided to make that their life, to go around the country and try to make people laugh. It's just like how,
I know.
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
stressful but also rewarding that probably is.
Hmm.
Um, just a couple other slides that we need to touch on. We're going to talk about best movie poster in a second and see if you guys think there's any missing there. And then best animated here is on the screen now. I mean, can anything beat K-pop? I don't
Like
know.
here or at the
Not even
Oscar?
the
Well,
demons.
ever. I mean, anywhere. I don't know.
Or anywhere?
Yeah, I don't know.
Probably not.
No,
Although,
yeah,
like, I think Little Amelia or the character of Rain is very good.
it is
That
really good.
was voted as the best animated film among the InSession film staff.
Mm.
Okay.
So it's, I mean, it's very good, but I don't, like when it comes to a lot of awards groups, it's mostly been K-pop Demon Hunters or bust, right? It's pretty much that.
What what I'll also say that I find so interesting about K-pop Demon Hunters is that I work at a Barnes and Noble. We have several, like, different books. There's like a little golden book of K-pop Demon Hunters, the album, stuff like that. And what continues to surprise me is the age range of people who are buying K-pop Demon Hunters stuff.
Mhm.
It goes from like very little kids. I had a little kid in the store yesterday who was talking to me about the song Soda Pop. Um,
Hmm.
but
Yeah.
then like also
Yeah.
people, up into their 30s and 40s, I've sold the vinyl to. And so
Hmm.
I think that that's such a fun movie that really has shown, obviously like animated films are not just for kids, but often the ones that are not geared towards children don't appeal to kids. Um,
Mm.
and I think that K-pop Demon Hunters is such a good example of something that is equally engaging, I think, to adults and children.
Hmm.
I agree, and it's funny because my oldest, his spring break lines up with the Oscars this year, and we gave
Oh,
him
Oh,
the
okay.
choice because we were going to take them to Disney that weekend, of course. But I always host an Oscars party this year, so it's been a debate in the house. And my
mm.
Mm.
son told my wife tonight that he wants to skip Disney because he wants to see the Oscars for
Oh,
that movie for
you're doing something
K-pop.
right.
Yeah,
You're doing something right.
yeah.
Yeah,
The Oscars over Disney World. I don't even know if my kids
I
would do
know,
that.
crazy, right?
Yeah,
What a
I
world.
force that. I hold
I'm
their
not
eyes
sure
open to
I
watch
would
films
pick
there.
that.
I
Um,
know. I can't
yeah, no,
believe the
that's good.
world I'm living in right now.
That's good shit though. But I want to address a couple
Mm.
comments real quick, and then I think we'll have one slide, and then we'll wrap up. But I kind of agree with this WWPJD. I think I am going to probably add a best international, probably not foreign language. I'll probably do just best international maybe next year. It'll be the new category
Mhm,
because I did kind of want that to have it like the Secret Agent's not here. No Other
mhm.
Choice did get quite a bit of mentions, and so does Sentimental Value, so that's great. But I love the voice of Hen Rajab. There's a lot of great Surat, obviously, which has been coming on strong
Mm.
Mhm.
lately. a lot of great
Mhm.
international films, and I watched the most that I've ever watched in a calendar year in 2025 personally. So some of my favorite movies of the year are not from
Yeah.
America. So,
Yeah.
and then the
I
other
was
one
gonna say
is, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say because we just got done talking about comedy a moment ago. The Icelandic film, The Love That Remains, is
Haven't seen it yet.
hysterical.
Mm,
Haven't seen it yet.
Very,
I've heard
okay.
very
great things
funny.
though.
Need to watch
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And
Great
uh,
movie.
same person commenting here, but again, I had nothing to do with it. I think it's the release date though. That would be my guess. I don't want to push back the Garage Awards. I don't have the luxury of having a crew to work for me with it, to do this with me. So I have to like get everything done so that it's not like, the middle of
Hmm.
the next year before I'm presenting the awards for the
Yeah.
previous year. So I just give everybody
Mhm.
January 1st as a cutoff, and I just wonder if not enough people had seen it before they put in their ballots.
Yeah.
So that's probably what
Yeah.
happened with Marty
Mhm.
Supreme, because I am also bummed that it didn't show up a little bit more because it's one of my favorites of the year.
Yeah.
That's it there. And then I think K-pop's going to walk away with that one. And then the last one,
Yep.
which is always been a fan favorite, is the best movie poster. 5 nominees here. Anything missing? Usually there's a movie poster that's a standout that just not enough people know what it is, or it's not popular enough or whatever. For me, it would be Resurrection. I don't know if you guys have seen the movie poster for
Hmm.
that one.
Oh yeah. I
Uh,
mean, that's
really,
another one of the another great reason to have international as a category.
yeah,
That
absolutely,
film,
yeah, yeah.
unbelievable.
But what do you guys think
Yeah.
about these posters?
I
Did any poster jump out at you this year?
I actually also, as far as what's missing, I really like the Wake Up Dead Man poster.
Yeah,
With
Mhm.
with
like the
all of them over the
POV
grave or
shot
whatever.
from in the
Yeah,
grave. That's so
yeah,
fun to
Yeah.
me.
yeah.
Out of these ones though, I really like the J. Kelly poster.
Yeah, that is really
Um,
cool.
Mm.
like like looking just at the posters, film aside, I think that would be my favorite of these.
Hmm.
But I feel like these are actually a really good set of what the best movie posters were this year. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
I
Jay.
agree
What do you
with you
think?
about Resurrection. Another one I would add is 28 Years Later, just because
mm,
the vestige there, and the
yeah,
symbolic fortitude of it, I think is incredible. So I would certainly add those two. Of this crop, Die My Love is probably my favorite. Although you make a great point about Jay Kelly, that is also really good. I quite like all five of those though. I could see
yeah.
the vote kind of going in any which direction, really.
I don't know if you guys remember. Was it last year? Maybe it was the year before. When was Poor Things? Was that last year or was that the year before?
Mm,
That was the year.
That was the year before, I think, right? 23.
So yeah, so that one
yeah.
that year, the one with Emma Stone with like the close up and all the
Yeah.
people walking on
Hmm.
her like stairs or whatever. I think Yorgos's movie posters. I mean, obviously he's not doing them himself, but you know what I mean. Just the posters that represent
Yeah.
his movies are always kind of standouts every year.
Mhm.
So I'm wondering if that one might be another win for him. I personally find the Eddington very striking.
Yeah.
That's the most
That's a
striking
good
poster
one.
for me.
Yeah.
And when I
Have you
saw,
seen the poster for Surratt
yeah, well, there's
by
several. Which one
chance?
are you talking about? With the speakers or with the?
Yeah, but the speakers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Which
That's a
speaks to that movie.
fascinating
Trust me.
looking. Big time, yeah. It makes sense. Yeah.
I was like, wow, okay, that's why the poster looks like that. Yeah, and then the LG says that as well.
Yeah.
So good shout out there in the comments. Jules says Jay Kelly is her favorite. The Wake Up Dead Man poster, like you were saying, the POV from the grave, and then
Hmm.
Resurrection.
Yeah.
LG
Yeah.
also agreed
Yeah.
with, and a
Mhm.
lot of people back my idea for international feature. I'm only going to do like one category per year, so that I don't, want to jump off a cliff somewhere, like the Buffaloes in Eddington there.
Yeah.
So
Fair.
I'll probably do that one next year, and then maybe do like, because I do like the idea. I got to figure out. Maybe I'll seek y'all's assistance to figure out what the
Yeah.
best like phrase would be to do like an inclusive year for an actor. Like we were talking about
Hmm.
Josh O'Connor.
Yeah.
Like Pedro
Yeah.
Pascal. Like who had the best year. Like was just
Yeah.
everywhere. Maybe something like that too. Maybe then a couple years down the
Yeah. Yeah.
line. So that's it for the nominations this year for the Garage
Oh,
Awards. Go
wait.
ahead.
Can I bring up one more thing?
Of course, yeah. Go
Um,
ahead.
which is the category of wait, what?
Oh yeah,
I
we
will
didn't talk about that, did
say,
we? Let me go back. You were
yeah,
right. I skipped over it. I'm sorry. Let me find it real
I
quick.
will say that my biggest wait what movie, which I don't even necessarily think is like the worst
Wait,
movie of the
what?
year,
Where is it? Where
but the
is it?
one that truly made me go, wait, what? Was
Here it is.
yeah, it was which okay, and I'm not gonna like lie and say that Snow White also did not make me say that, but every time I see Gal
Sure.
Gadot, I say, wait, what? Uh,
I think she says that every time she sees a script. Wait, what
actually,
do I do?
I'll be real. Every time I see her, all I hear in my head, like she's talking, and all I'm hearing is enough champagne to fill denial. But a big, bold, beautiful journey was my biggest. Wait, what?
I didn't
Because
see
that
it. I
movie
didn't see
ended,
it.
and I was like, did I miss something?
The ending is
Like,
Mm,
weird. Yeah.
it's the whole film.
mm,
I was like, what's happening?
wow. Okay, I didn't
Um,
see that one.
yeah,
Yeah.
don't. I say that I enjoyed it because I enjoy looking at Colin Farrell and Margot Robbie,
Mhm.
um,
Mhm.
and that's it. Um, but yeah, I think this category is so fun, and
Yeah.
I to me, I mean,
I, gue- I
there's a lot
guess.
of wait what's from this
Yeah,
year, actually.
I guess it's like our one Razzie shout out, I guess technically,
Yeah.
because I mean it's like sometimes there's movies on here that's like I don't even like hate them necessarily. It's just like
Yep.
you can consensusly go, wait, what? You know what I mean? Which is kind of like,
Mhm.
Yep.
what? Who thought of this? Like the War of the Worlds thing was a phenomenon, but at the same time you're watching it going, why did all these people sign on to be in this? Like, what was this supposed to be like this? You know,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
such a train wreck. You know, so. What do you think about this category, JD? Anything, any of these that
Um.
are any of these good movies? First of all, that you would say, because last year you
No.
defended Megalopolis. Remember, you were like,
Yeah, I do love that movie. Yeah. No, yeah, I will champion Megalopolis.
yeah, no, I remember.
I've only seen a couple of these, to be fair, Electric State
Yeah.
and Snow White, and I'm not very high on either of them. But given what everyone else has said about the other three, I can understand why they are here. The other two that I would add to this is the Tom Hardy film Havoc from way earlier in the year. That is dreadful, absolutely dreadful. And I might get some pushback on this last one because I know he has his fans, but The Monkey from earlier in the year is
Mm.
probably my least favorite film that I saw last
I
year.
liked it. You talking about Oz
Yeah,
Perkins? I
I'm
dug it.
not an Oz Perkins guy.
Oh,
He's
okay.
just not for
Well,
me.
yeah, I actually like that one better than Long Legs. Believe it or not. I don't know. It was the horror comedy of it all. It just got me. I just loved how it was just so over the top and
Mhm.
silly, and it leaned into that pretty heavily. I thought. So I can see why people didn't like it. I'm on an island, believe me, I know that. So, but I really dug that one overall from like a horror comedy standpoint. But I get what you're saying for sure. So yeah,
I
wait,
just
Yeah.
want to
what?
say a shout out to Netflix for having two films in this category.
I think Netflix is always going to be in the running for this. I got to tell you
Yeah.
because they don't care. They'll put it out. You know. So
They don't, no,
uh,
which is a problem for a lot of other reasons that we don't have to go into right now.
it is.
Yep.
It is. Yeah. It's gonna be worse as time goes on, probably. But yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I didn't expect to end on the wait what category, but I guess we'll just leave that up there. So. You guys are the best as always. I really do appreciate it. Just to let everybody remind everybody that's watching, or if you watch this in the future, because it'll be on the channel. Voting ends
Mhm.
on January 20th. The link is on the screen here, and if you're over in the chat, Dan's been gracious enough to drop it in the chat over there as well. So make sure you get your vote in. It's only going to be open for 2 weeks, and then we will be getting our presenters together and compiling the results, and we'll announce the winners on February 17th, which will also be a live broadcast here on YouTube. I have a lot of fun presenters lined up to give out the awards. So I'm looking forward to it, and we'll see what walks away with the prizes this year. We are doing a ranked voting system for Best Picture for the first time. So the voters will be ranking them 1 through 10, and whatever the lowest score is will be the winner. So we'll see how that turns out because I've never done it that way before, and it's usually a runaway. Like this year would probably be One Battle, or Sinners would probably run away with it. But we'll see if ranked voting kind of mixes things
Mhm.
up a little bit. I did see a couple of comments about people missing, and believe me, I don't want to snub anybody. Like if we could have 20 nominees per category, I would do that because I think there are so many great performances this year in movies, but especially on my show because I do female and male. I don't do supporting or lead
Mhm.
or like
Yeah,
the Astros
yeah.
that nominated a dog because there was no
Yeah.
actors left to give the
Yeah.
nominations to. So that makes it a little harder too because there's only 6 per sex,
Mhm.
so it's tough. But Wagner Moura, Timothy Chalamet, like those guys
Mhm.
deserve to be shouted out, but there's just not enough spots apparently from the committee's thoughts there. So that turned out the way it is. But I think it's a good group for the most part in all the categories. So I'm looking forward to see what the public comes up with when they vote. Guys, Nicole, JD, y'all are the best. I love getting together with you every
I
year. I
appreciate
hate
it.
that we have to wait to do this. We should just
Yeah.
get on the stream and hang out occasionally. I don't
Yeah.
just talk about
We should do
whatever.
a
Yeah,
I don't know.
mid-year
sure.
show.
Should.
Yeah,
We should.
I'd be
We
down.
should. We should. You guys are the best. Let me go over to the chat and make sure I didn't miss any questions or anything anybody might have for us. I think everybody's just shouting out the stream, and I really appreciate everybody that tuned in for it. Dan is not a fan of Oz. You'll be happy about that one, JD. Our boy Dan over there.
Good man.
But Brad's getting on you.
How dare
you,
you?
dude.
Sorry, Brad.
Brad and I actually did our review of that together on the podcast, I think. If I'm
Nice.
remembering correctly. I think we both loved it. So we're both like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Josh O'Connor, Paul Mescal, Pedro Pascal. Those would all be nominees probably in that new category if we did that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I kind of like Minecraft, LG. Sorry, I don't know. I was kind of like, why do I like this? Because I don't play the game or anything. I was just kind of into it.
And
yeah.
I would also have Minecraft here, but I have no tie to that at all. For what it's worth.
Oh man. Well, this is a lot of fun, guys. Please vote. Make sure you vote. 2 weeks, you get your vote in, and we'll see what wins. We'll announce it on February 17th. I'll be promoting it leading up to that, and then obviously I'll be all over the place covering award season in general outside of the Garage Awards, so you guys will see me everywhere. Nicole, JD, y'all are the best. Thanks for being here.
Appreciate it.
Why don't you tell everybody where they can find you real quick too, and I'll put it down in the comments when I edit the show notes. JD, where can they find InSession, buddy?
InSessionFilm.com is the easiest place to find everything that we do. We have a bunch of podcasts that go out each week, a bunch of written content from our incredible staff that I do love and appreciate. And I would be remiss if I didn't plug episode 670. We are recording it this weekend. It is our InSession Film Awards for 2025. Nice. We split it into 2 parts. Part 1 is the categories, much like we discussed here this evening. And then part 2 is our top 10 movies of the year. So that will be releasing next week. So again, you can follow us on social media. We're at InSession Film everywhere. And of course, InSessionFilm.com is the easiest place to find us. So come join us. It's always a lot of fun. And thanks for having me. I always love being here. This is a lot of fun.
Absolutely, man. I'm a big fan of InSession. I have been for a long, long time. One of the very, very first movie podcasts I ever started listening to back 10 years ago or whatever it was. And stuck with you, man. Stuck with you and Brendan.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
Brendan presented, actually, he was the presenter for Dune 2 last year. Best movie. I guess you remember that or you know that.
Yeah.
No, so he was able to present that for Villeneuve. You know, I didn't get anything sent to him, but need to come up with some little gold plaque to send these guys or something. Nicole, did you want to plug anything? Culture Cabinet, or tell them where to find you?
So I run Culture Cabinet with actually fellow former presenter and North Carolina Film Critics member Lex Williams. We cover music, film, books, TV, theater, you name it. And we actually just did a big rebrand of our site. We worked with a graphic designer to get a new logo. We redid the whole site's look. So you can find us at culturecabinet.com. We're also on Instagram at culture_cabinet. And we've got some really cool stuff there, especially if you like music as well. Lex has been doing some really awesome interviews with musicians, which are super cool. And yeah, you can find us over there. We've got some very exciting things coming in the new year. So make sure to give us a follow and check it out. And you can subscribe to the site to get email notifications at the bottom.
Yeah, you guys are the best. I love Lex too. And actually, Lex is going to be my guest for hopefully not my public crash out of the Oscar nominations, but she's going to join me after they announce them this year. And we're going to discuss them. She did it with me last year too. So I love chatting with her, and I love running into you guys at local screenings and stuff. So I'm sure I'll see you sooner than later. But as always, thank you so much for doing this. JD, you as well, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, this was fun.
Absolutely. And don't forget to vote, guys. And this will be on the channel. So if you see this in the future and it's before January 20th, head over to the link. I'll put it down in the show notes, as well as the information for my guests here as well. Make sure you visit them and click on the link to cast your ballot for the Garage Awards. This is the 8th year that I've done this, and the 3rd year on YouTube. I'm crazy, but I will continue to do it because I love movies. So thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all the super chats, comments, and special thanks to my members. There's about 32 of you that made up the committee this year to come up with the nominees, and you made it so much easier on me, so I really do appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. All right, guys, I'm going to sign off. We will talk to you soon. JD, Nicole, thanks again.